Hello, viewers. I'm SB.
And I'm Amabel. Welcome back to Endless Legend.
We're doing that in every. Okay. All right. Welcome back to Amabel Goes to Forex School. Well, look at this. This is maybe
Okay.
the best city location I have ever seen in a game of Endless Legend. There's a tree of life, a life
Okay.
tree. There's an earth spine. There's a second earth spine. It's on the river. Like settling here and then building this way. This is so juicy.
Now,
If only
what,
we were playing a faction that was allowed to have more than one city.
yeah, no. What does the trio life give you besides like dinosaurs and nostalgic memories of childhood?
Amabel, the life tree is an anomaly in the game Endless Legend that adds 6 food and 10 approval to the tile. There's 30 points of approval over here, in addition to all of the science and the food and the. Ugh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and it's so thing that we can't take advantage of.
Do you think the game did this on purpose? Do you
Yes.
think the game like establishes like the juiciest cities when you can't have them?
Yes, to be clear, with malice aforethought, I am alleging malice. Yeah. Okay, so we did not exactly come out of the blocks super hot here. I did not get us a very energetic start. I made a bad decision in combat early. We're playing from behind a little bit more than ordinarily is the case even, and I do feel bad about that. Our faction quest currently wants us to deploy and grow 3 Mycaran extractors. All 3 of them are up and running right now. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. We need 2 more technologies before we are up into the next era. And we have a variety of important things to pick up yet. We don't have access to the open pit mine. There is a wine deposit that is visible to us. So getting exploitation of those luxury resources will probably let us keep our city at Fervent pretty much forever, which is a big deal. Access to the hero market is important-ish. Obviously, we don't need a huge number of heroes, not as many as some factions could make use of, but somebody to govern a city, additional combat heroes, it's certainly still good to get. There's also some ocean nearby, and we probably do want to play in the ocean. We see boats, we know there are fortresses. At this point, I would be reluctant to go to boarding vessels for that, though. That's probably more of a fire ship type concern. So maybe we're holding off on that a little. And then, of course, we still don't have the Empire Mint, which is a fairly significant building. We still don't have our Gorgon. We still don't have the ability to pillage, which is a thing we haven't done in previous games, but I think is going to be more valuable here since we can't gain wealth and incomes by expanding. This lets us, burn down an enemy structure and take resources from it. I think I'm going to go open pit mine because I really do think being able to exploit this wine deposit over here is pretty high value. There's a couple of wine deposits around actually, and those dyes would be nice. Yeah. So we're working on another military unit. We are doing a research right now that will give us a thing that we don't have to build in the city. So there's a good a moment here where we can just build military, and I think we should at the very least fill this army up. We can bully the cultist player a little bit if we're smart and careful about it. The greatest danger in fighting this cultist is his hero, and once he has access to his second era research unit, the unit that for him is in this space, he's going to gain a really strong archer. But until then, his army is going to be pretty weak. So I'm hoping that we can just take a little bit of advantage while he is still constructing that position. We're definitely going to run over here and search this ruin really quick. And of course, we're generating population in our capital at a pretty significant speed. That matters too. I'm going to stick my head in here. Okay, let's get vision of his situation. So he's at 6 pop to our 6 pop. He has 4 units. So he's got militia. We don't know where his hero is, if it's in commander mode or if it's governing the city right now. We're not in a place to attack this city, but obviously, this will be a city well worth attacking once we do have a functional military. So that is a thing we need to be thinking about. I think we probably want to go back and deal with those Harmonite if we can, just because it's basically free XP. Our hero does need to get big and strong.
You know, it didn't really occur to me to this moment that being a single city faction means you only have one build queue.
Yes. Another critical thing that it means... Okay, somebody pulled Visionary Leader away from us. It is the purple player, whoever that is. Another important thing that it means is that you do not get to... you don't get a second chances. Hold on now. That Fungal Bloom is being fucked with. Oh, you asshole. Against most factions, if you put together an army and you rush their city and you just barely win and take the city from them, that's not actually a great position because you're going to get counterattacked. They're going to take the city back, right? If we successfully claim Blue's city, no matter what state his army is in, he immediately loses the game and his armies are removed from the world. So if we can catch him at a moment when his defenses are weak enough and his army is elsewhere, we can just sneak remove him from the game. That's a thing to think about. I am going to send out Epotanes to... Oh, hey, hi there, friend. Oh, you know what? We could probably try to... We're over 5 resource output from everything. We could try to actually win this thing.
So I can see
with one person on influence, we have 5 influence per turn, and that gives us 5 of everything.
Well, the single city faction is really encouraged to be aggressive then.
Yes, yeah. This is a little bit of a mess. You know what? I'm going to reassign my hero to this army. We're gonna have you come and meet us, and I'm gonna attack these dudes here. This is annoying, but there's simply not anything we can really do about it. We won't get to it in time. He needs to decide to stop burning down our thing, and you know, it might happen. Yeah, there's nothing really we can do about it. It's not impossible that the units he's using to do this will get distracted by other stuff. The village in that region is still live as far as we know, so they might spawn Kazanji and combat might occur. Because we didn't successfully burn it down. Alright. Let's get into a fight. I'm hoping they're just going to run over and fight me. I would love to not have to spend any of my movement on that. Okay, that's not too bad. That keeps the city in reinforcement range. Let's definitely bring in the militia first. And again, we're just going to do this manually because I don't want there to be any chance of my poor ranged unit getting murdered here. So they get to move first. They only have 2 movement. Yeah, this'll work then. They're going to end up here. Yeah, you're in a fine spot. And let's just have everybody focus on the same target, please. Boy, that's a way to interpret those orders. Units making decisions for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
They do, of course, vastly prefer to go after your ranged units wherever possible because they are spiteful monsters. And there's realistically nothing that we can do to stop them from killing that unit. Yeah, this is the danger of having a squishy basic unit type and having every village around you be high damage flying units.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have been, I don't know if I've made this clear, we have been put in a hilariously bad position by the map. This, aside from like the high anomaly density in our starting area, like almost everything else about this map is really, really bad. It would be worse if our neighbor was somebody who could expand, I guess. Okay, so they have ruined that and thus made our faction quest undoable. They're going to start in on this one now, and we're going to have to respond to that.
Undoable for now, or undoable?
Yeah, well, I mean, for now, but it's effectively who knows how long. Okay, so that's the notification for this. Yeah, that's the notification for that one. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how long it'll be until we're allowed to try again, because we're not allowed to put it up now. We are allowed to start in on the wine, but also we know he has an army over here. They've probably walked away. I guess let's find out. I'm gonna start putting up extractors and we'll see what happens. Okay. So we are paying a fair amount of our city's food budget at this point, but getting these things resolved I think is important. Oh yeah, also science. We should probably like research some stuff or whatever. We do need mercenary market. Oof, our research times are getting pretty long. So I'm assuming this must be a large army that he's doing this with. It's an army that's completely invisible. Oh, there's a cliff. There's a cliff there. Okay, so he's got Kazanji of his own. All right, we're allowed to start this again now. I'm hoping his units have just moved far enough away. Should be 6 science per turn. I mean, we gotta get the military units out. So the unit that's attacking this must be right there. It's working on a wonder, it would seem. The best thing for us would be if there was somebody else on this landmass who put pressure on him from like the west or the south.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we could threaten him from the north with a greater degree of impunity. Okay, so he has his hero in his city. He's got 4 militia, he's got a bunch of demons. The army that is attacking our deposit is just some garbage preachers, but they have the backup of the city. I mean, we certainly can't fight.
Yeah, that feels rough.
Yeah, it's tough because the only deposits we can see are like one of them is right on on top of another player's city. There's not much we can do about that. We just kind of have to hope that it survives. But he did move the army that was attacking it away at least, so it'll get established. The ancient Urkin beasts are stirring.
Let me ask you a question about this pretty bad setup we're in. You know, we had a pretty bad setup the very first game we played of this, the abridged one. And I mean, this is just going to happen with a random map being generated.
Yes.
Or you're going to maybe at a disadvantage. But and maybe you don't know an answer for this, but when people are actually playing this multiplayer, like competitively, are there certain protections that are put in place with the random generation to make them more equal or even or
yeah, there's a system by which player starting positions are given a certain amount of they're given a certain budget of abstract value points. People's starting positions are made to be in some way similar in value.
Okay.
But as for nobody plays these games competitively. That's not a real thing.
That's interesting to me.
And the competition, people play these games in multiplayer versus mode, but there's nothing you could do that would make them functional as tournament, for there to be a competitive
no, I
scene.
wasn't referring to a tournament thing. It's
which is not to say that nobody holds Civ tournaments or no. There are people out there who think that there is a tournament scene for Civ that they are a part of, but it's not it's simply
cute.
It's simply not functional as that kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
because it kind of can't be. This is overkill. Probably the first attack's going to kill him, but I'm erring on the side of caution because we do have a lot of things going badly for us here, and there are people who are going to be mad about the thing I just said. I apologize, but also I'm right.
No, I think you are. Yeah. The last convention I went to before COVID and before some things started to change for me was the World Board Game Championships, and that have tournaments for games that really a Catan tournament makes no sense to me.
Sure, yeah. Okay, just a little bit more XP and also safeguarding our fungal blooms against other interference. Now keep in mind, all of our units have this fungal bloom regen thing, so in theory, our units regen pretty quickly, faster than most other people's, especially once we have more of our blooms established.
More blooms in place, yeah.
So that should help us a little bit with the being forced to run away situation that we find ourselves in. And we now have some actual strategic resource incomes. And that's going to help too, because we are definitely going to research advanced weapon technology. Okay. So, winter. It is time. First of all, we're going to make sure we get some pearls here. We can see that Blue just finished building that museum. That's pretty good for them. Somebody else got to 30 units of a luxury resource. That was never a thing that was on the table for us. So, combat technologies. Alchemical alloys and meritocratic promotion are both of value. I suppose meritocratic promotion probably a little bit a thing we want to apply earlier. Okay, if we run back here,
another slot, doesn't it?
It increases the maximum size of our armies by two
yeah.
units.
Okay, yeah.
So we're going to grab some of these pearls. We're going to create ourselves a free district with the pearls. We're going to, we're going to get value, but it is going to take a minute. I do feel like if you don't get a pretty spectacular start, it can be difficult to play from behind, more difficult to play from behind with some factions than with others. And we're definitely in that situation. Honestly, we might need to, as much as this is not a huge amount of science for us, we might need to get some science going. So we can run this Epatane out, grab some more of these pearls, and just jump back in the garrison for the rest of the turn, and we'll meet the army next turn. Because I don't really want to be building military right now. What I want to be doing is putting down my altar, in a position to grab additional anomalies. If we move over to hard industry focus. Obviously, I want to be very food first, but it is challenging. So So we got 2 turns left on these extractors. Well, 1 turn left on most of them. So we're going to see a pretty significant upward jump in our food output next turn when a bunch of our blooms finish growing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put us on hard food focus our hard industry focus for a moment. We got to get some stuff done. As much as it does pain me to not be at 100% food focus with our husbandry center up all the time. All right, so they did let us grow some stuff. We have fully grown 3 Mycaran extractors. Not all strategic like I was hoping, but we got there. So, even though I slumber, every day I feel myself grow stronger and more capable. Somehow I feel faraway places healing me and giving me sustenance. Soon I will come to full wakefulness and understand, I'm sure. In the meantime, the memories of my people's slaughter at the hands of the mages only sharpens my enmity. Today I awoke and discovered the horrifying truth. I am Mycara, and Mycara is me. We are one, a symbiosis of flesh and filaments, memories and myths. In the cold light of day, I can now clearly remember how I survived. The Mycara had fascinated me for a long time when I led those who would join me away from the home vaults. It was an ancient fungal species, mycelial tendrils and mushroom fruit, no sign of what it would one day become. Growing largely in the subterranean realm, it was unseen by most and overlooked by the rest. But I saw its potential. Sinewy, resilient, vigorous, I knew it could transform a vaulter settlement. And it did. Crops, waste, defense, it was a wonder material. It even began to shed light on the legendary Urkin beasts, who reputedly emerged from the Aurigan crust every few centuries, before slipping back into folkloric tales. Sadly, one of those same beasts came under the spell of our ancient enemy, the mages, who used it to find and then destroy us. As my kinsman died in my arms, as I basked in my feelings of vengeance, a desperate idea came to me. The Mycara had brought me to this juncture, and the Mycara would grant me my revenge. After all, in my heart, I'd always been convinced it was much more than a mere mindless organism. I scrambled deeper and deeper into the earth, far into the inky darkness of the thickest mycelial forest, where thick tendrils vied with web-like skeins. Unable to move any further, I lay on a bed of filaments and curled myself into a ball. It swiftly ensnared me, a cocoon of protection wrapped around a heart of malice. Now we are one. It acts, I act, we act. Sometimes it almost feels like I'm doing things against my will. It is terrifying, but I will grow used to it, perhaps even enjoy it. Besides, I have real power now, and the first task is to learn if I wasn't the only survivor. So, we must interrogate those nearby to learn if others of my vault survived, and you know how we do interrogation. We don't even have mouths. So, control 5 overgrown villages. We have the 3 villages in Siegor. We need to overgrow 2 more. We didn't overgrow this Kazanji village. We just converted them the old-fashioned way. We talked them into joining. But even if we had, they wouldn't be enough by themselves. We got to go out and get some more. This is where I think things are going to get a little bit tricky, because the cultists and I are both going to be vying for these same minor faction villages. Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be a frustrating control struggle in our future. So we're negative on food to a much smaller degree now, and once we get our altar up, we can re-food focus. But I definitely want to make sure I expand out and get control of this this massive tree. It is a time of great melancholy. Oh, hey, right, Lake Zoltan. I kind of forgot. My man wants me to investigate 2 more ruins. I would love to do that. That sounds great. So, dude just gave us a bunch of money. I do think just buying out this altar actually makes a ton of sense. Don't think I want to buy out the Epitane. Well, it would be almost all the money. We don't have anything else of great import to build for the moment. I mean, it would be Borough Streets, right? And this would pull us down from Fervent for the moment, but we do have some boosters and we're working on pulling in more resources. You know what?
Yeah.
I am going to actually do this. Let's just, because this fills this army, right? Well, it fills this army according to... No, let's keep the money because we're like I do want to buy a governor. We have the tech. In theory, there's going to be an eclipse at some point, maybe. All right, so our altar is up. It is worth noting that any of these technologies that give us access to an additional like building for our city are a little bit more interesting because it is simultaneously like only an improvement to one city, but also an improvement to 100% of our empire's cities. So like Nyctalopian lenses, which is like paying 10 pearls for a 10% science bonus every time you want to add that bonus to a city. It's a lot more interesting as a single city faction. If we get together another 9 pearls, I probably will go ahead and build that.
I suppose I should ask. The Empire plans for the multi-city factions scale up with the number of cities. The cost scales up with the number of cities you have, right?
Yeah.
This stays static?
Well, so like I said before, a fungal bloom counts as a portion of a city.
Right.
For that purpose. And for the cult, converted villages also count as a portion of a city.
It's been a little bit.
We're currently at 28 instead of 20 as our base influence cost.
Okay.
Really, one city would be 20 and 2 cities would be 40.
Right, gotcha.
And that's going to be, significant. So, that said, we are producing 5 influence per turn now. It's actually totally doable for us to get the city cost reduction on our next Empire plan. I don't think that's a thing we'll have to worry about at all, actually. Okay. Do I want to... Yeah, I do think I want to run another dye extractor here. So, like, there's the upside, right, of the resource extraction and the improvement to our fungal bloom regeneration rate, but there's the downside of the increased influence cost, and obviously, like, the more fungal stuff you have around, the harder it is to defend.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to start growing this out too. We should get this tunnel entrance worked out so that we can start putting up teleportation effectively in other places. Okay, short winter. Don't feel too bad about that. Okay, they've got some Zhuzhajun as well, so they have converted a village of Magte somewhere. We don't know what state this village is in. That's what I'm running over to ascertain right now. And then we also need to think about where we're going to convert another village. We don't actually see another one down here, but there's got to be other ones down here. Okay, so since we have meritocratic promotion, I am sort of inclined to finish building out the Epotane. Like, let's get up to 6 units. Do we want to have any Harmonite, actually? Maybe we want some other punchy units, not just our hero and a bunch of archers, effectively. These guys are almost twice as expensive as Epotane, though. You know, having one more blocker is probably not a bad idea. if I were to focus on industry now, we would cut that down pretty significantly, but also, population matters a bunch. It's so hard to walk the line between hardened mages. Oh no, it's the story, it's happening. It's hard to walk the line between like the short-term benefit of the getting things done faster and the long-term benefit of getting things done faster, which is somewhat nebulous, combined with the long-term benefit of getting your population up faster.
Yeah.
I really feel like I struggle with knowing what the right thing to do is,
Yeah. I mean, I feel that. I struggle with that myself.
All right, I'm gonna industry focus us for just a little while here, because I do want to be at a functional full-sized army. All right, let's see what is going on with this village. We can overgrow the Kazanji village if we want. Aha, what's going on with this village is that it is converted, but empty. So we are just going to deconvert it and then overgrow it real quick. And they're going to start working on that, which is annoying, but it's not... Oh, hi, Khazar, what's up? It's not that big of a deal. And actually, that Khazar is like really badly wounded, right? 51 HP.
Out of 1,000?
Well, the thing is, we do have 2 Epitanes over here. Okay, new plan. I'm going to rush him.
All right.
If we can get our hero... So maybe I want to pull back... Now that we're converting this village, maybe we do want to just make this the 5th village. I wasn't necessarily going to worry about overgrowing them, paying the food for it when we don't necessarily need to. But maybe it's worth it to just get this step of our faction quest done, because I don't even know what kind of resources, what kind of rewards we get. I don't remember the Mycera faction quest at all, if I'm being honest. I think I'm going to do that. So in order to run that at the same time as all the other stuff we're running, we need to improve our food output. I currently don't have enough food output to be doing everything simultaneously. So if I enable this and I have people all set to food, we do get another birth next turn.
Okay.
We have the ability to go for the industrial megapole. Is that a good idea? Probably not.
It would be a good idea.
It would be sick if we got it. If I were to put it down, if I were to say, yeah, let's build it right here, and then I were to focus everybody on industry, how long would it take to do it? 16 turns is a long time. And I have to imagine the cultists are going to go for it, and they're going to build it way faster than we will. So it's probably not worth devoting the time. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. Religious fervor has started, which is fun. That's cool. How does that affect our upcoming empire plan? I'm pressing buttons all over the place. This is the button I wanted. Because, we want to be at 82, and we're totally going to be now. I was planning on just moving some people over to influence on, the 2 turns before. But now we won't even need to do that. I wonder... I mean, we're not producing that much money, so the buyout reduction is probably not that big of a deal. 109, where are we going to be at right now? We're going to get 17 4 more times. So we'll be over 100. Yeah, we'll be able to pull this very easily, and I think that's the plan. The plus vision for units would also be nice. But obviously, I don't want to pull people off of food right now. So let's leave it like this for at least one more turn. Maybe a couple more turns. I don't know why Purple brought Khazar over here, but if we have the opportunity to snipe him while he's still very low on health, we're gonna try. What is our reassignment cooldown? It's available. So yeah, these two Epitanes by themselves, I don't know that that's a realistic thing, but the hero plus the two Epitanes, I think might absolutely be capable of making that work. All right, I was hoping to get some vision of some new tiles at least. That's not occurring. So Khazar, how quickly are you healing? Ooh, pretty quickly actually. That's faster than I would like. He's regained like 50 HP since he came over here. Maybe this is unrealistic. But it would be really cool, right?
Yeah, do it.
How much damage do we do? Like, our Epitanes have very poor damage, and their attack is going to probably... We're probably looking at half damage from those guys. It's the hero who's got a chance of dealing some real damage. He only has 174 health to Khazar's 124 damage. And with Khazar's 122 attack, we're probably looking at damage and a half. So the hero probably only gets to hit him once. Is he considered an infantry unit? No, Khazar is cavalry, actually. So I don't get Infantry Slayer. I'm going to hit end turn. Nothing's changing right now. Okay. So. Ooh, he generated a lice as well. He regained 80 HP and a military unit. I don't...
Weird. Okay.
As much fun as it would be, I do not think we can do that.
I understand.
And that's a real shame. I thought they had exposed something here that we were really going to be able to make a play for.
It's okay if you're chicken.
Amabel.
Bok, bok, bok.
What? Hey, 20 wine.
That's pretty good.
And bonus HP for all these units. That's something.
Yeah.
Specialized Polyp now has enough health that he would probably survive one hit. But the lice will kill him instead, now that there are lice. Yeah, these things have 200 HP at this point in the game. That's too much. It's too much to deal with. I think we gotta just fall back and play defense. As much as I would love to be able to do the thing. Okay, so you're falling back. You're continuing to look for ruins to search for the Lixoltan quest. And also just kind of running general interference over here. You gotta make it not totally free for the cultists to disrupt us in every way that they feel like all of the time. This is like a really aggressive, shitty thing to do if either of these factions have the ability to settle. The fact that neither one of us are trying to expand into Sayagor is the only thing that makes this not the cruelest play I've ever seen. I am going to bump some people to influence here. It actually would be really nice if we could hit the... What was it? It was 129, right? $136. Oh, that's right. We have blooms finishing. We won't finish anything. Oh, we will finish. We will finish stuff on the turn. Shoot, yeah. So we're gonna need to be more like. It has to be higher even. That's fine. We can redirect. I don't want to be negative on food. Growing stuff sucks. It hurts. But it's also very important. So we have a bloom finishing. Okay. One more ruin. They are continually starting to burn this and then stopping, and every time they stop, it goes back to full health immediately, so... I guess they could keep doing that. That's fine by me. We're gonna just put you guys back in the garrison so we're not paying the full army price for you. And then I'm pulling both of these guys over to here, so we're gonna be at 147. That might not be enough still. I think it's gonna end up not quite being enough. And unfortunately we don't have enough die to actually run a die booster. That's fine. We'll end up running it without the hero vision. It'll be okay. But I'm still going to leave everybody on influence because I want to make sure we get it. Oh, hey, look. It's finally time for the Eclipse. The first Eclipse of the game on turn 40.
Wow.
Yeah, fantastic, right? Okay, so we just did a billion things. Let's lock this in. You're kidding me. All right, well, we are 1 point of influence outside of the plan. It's fine. We just have some bank. It's okay to have some bank. At this point, if we were to try to industrial megapole, 11 turns. 3 other factions are currently building it. We're not going to get it. It's fine. I think at this point I will take the moment to expand out into this other anomaly. Do we want to just food focus? Yeah, we just food focus. Okay. So, we finished our technology, and that's going to be relevant. We're going to make some weapons or whatever. Fungal blooms are growing. They sure are. Okay, look at all the glass steel. Now we need to assimilate a minor faction for 25 spices. We have a minor faction assimilated already. I don't know if that's going to immediately complete or if we're going to have to do another one. An army in Dells has some emeralds. I don't even want those. Also, we did this, so there's 160 dust for that. And Lick Zoltan wants us to increase our Empire Science output. Y'all remember this quest. That is not... it's not quite hero money. All right, it's fine. The Eclipse is going to start. We're going to get our hero money. We're also going to finish growing the last of our blooms for the moment and be back on full food output, which is fantastic. We're going to get an alchemy workshop and fix our science output. Things are going to be good. They're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Amabel, we're losing, and it's bad.
No, I do see that.
Thank you. All right, we're just going to hang out here for a second, make sure we can grab this.
But that's okay, because we're going to be really aggressive and do more military.
Well, I mean, that's really aggressive is past already. Really aggressive was 25 turns ago. We found some moonleaf. That's rad. Okay, it does count that we have a faction assimilated. That's good enough. So here's some spices. I feel myself, my identity, slipping deeper into the Mycera's collective consciousness. It is a soothing, liberating, mind-expanding feeling as my attention expands across the world and deeper into the past. But it is also a betrayal. I swore I would have vengeance, and I will not break that promise. I must not forget. As the Mycera has changed me, so I have changed the Mycera. Out of my form, perhaps out of my very cells, it grows workers, builders, soldiers. Some will be my instruments for my purposes. I will send an army back to our devastated home and find the mage's trail. The site of our old vault and the massacre is hazy to me, but I must find it. During my slumber, the Mycera moved me, and the geography of the world feels unfamiliar. It is hardly surprising that a vaulter struggles to recognize the landscape. We've always been happier in the subterranean realm, more attuned to the vagaries of stone, the smell of the depths, and the shades of darkness that you learn from living underground. Still, I have some ideas, and we will find the place. And if we are lucky, maybe we might even surprise a few ardent mages who've lingered too long. So, we have to search some ruins to pick up the mage's trail. Parandi, Sagor, and Dells. Cygor and Dells we know. Perendi is not a region that we're familiar with. If we pin this... Okay, interesting. Well, so it's highlighted the quest for us. It's highlighted the region for us, which means that we can build a temple on it. So I'm just going to do that. We're just going to make a tunnel exit here, and we're going to handle it that way. We picked up a movement speed conflux, so we could do some movement speed stuff, and we're going to try to search some ruins real fast. I'm debating whether I want to burn down this Magte village. It is unfortunate because all of the tiles are under a forest. It's like really a lot of movement to go out of our way to hit it. And I would much rather head back home. God, you have a ridiculous number of military units for turn 41. Okay, we did complete the tech that lets us make military units with like proper weapons. Let's take some advantage of this. So if we want to equip our weapons, want to equip our units, make them good and strong and useful. Let's see here. We have access to a staff that casts slow down on our enemies or a mage wand that casts unsteady. 29 attack, 22 damage, 8 defense, 23 attack, 12 initiative, 5 health, and 22 damage. Slow down obviously removes enemy battle movement, whereas unsteady lowers their attack. I think slow down is more relevant to us. There's something to be said for trying to stay above the enemy's initiative, but like if we did this, what are our enemy's initiatives? 47, 32. Okay. So they're running improved initiative equipment on some of their units. There's no way we're going to beat their initiative, so it's not worth trying. We will not produce enough, so we may as well focus on actual combat stats then. All right. We still have running to do. But yeah, like if we were going to be really aggressive, like the start that we had really took the wind out of our sails on that front. I think I'm going to run all the way up around here. Next turn, we'll search this ruin and then run to search that ruin real fast. Oh, right. Some of these boosters we should run. We should definitely run the spices. We should definitely run the moonleaf. Extra science output is the thing we care about. We don't need to run the others right now. It wouldn't actually accomplish anything for us. But extra food, obviously, is the thing we want to be doing all of the time. And sure enough, somebody built the megapole. Yeah, we were never really in competition for that. So heroes are like mid 400s for us. If we can search one more, if we can get one more good dust market search, we should be in good shape for that, I think.
Okay.
If the eclipse ends before we get to search this, I will be sad. But like we could get up to 130 dust on one of these searches right now, I think. It's like 70 or 130 are the two values. Oh, 60 is one of the values, apparently. Okay, yeah, the roaming army in Dells has been slain by somebody else. Fine by me. That's graphical error. These guys sure did run over just to make my life difficult. They're standing in the one tile that we can use to get northward.
Well, that's rude.
It is rude. We're going to kill them, obviously. But I shouldn't have to.
That also feels rude?
I see what you're saying. I get where you're coming from on that. All right, we're going to continue building burrows for the moment. Because there is another anomaly to expand to. And more science tiles, which we need desperately. If I focus on production a little bit more, it would be cool to, yeah, find the like minimum amount of industry we have to apply to get this to finish the same turn the alchemy workshop research finishes, while still focusing on food as much as possible. These guys have, yeah, their stats are not amazing. My biggest concern is that they're all cavalry, right? And
They
so
look like
they're,
some fast horses, yeah.
yeah, and so they're going to be a little annoying. Well, you know what? Actually, we can just run over to this empowering conflux, because this gives us the ability to ignore the extra movement costs of terrain. We weren't going to get to this ruin this turn anyway, but now we
Okay.
can approach it from this side. And also, picking up confluxes is worth some XP. It leveled up one of our units. And our hero's doing okay on levels, kind of.
So of the 4 Endless Legend games we played together here,
Yeah, sort of 4.
so 4.
That first one was hardly a game.
Where would you rank this one as far as difficulty of your start compared to is this the hardest start you've had?
It's hard, certainly. We found some Palladian. That's really not what we needed. And somebody else got the plus detection range thing. That doesn't really matter to us. So I can't help but notice this large army headed for our capital.
That's not great.
It isn't ideal. So let's see here. Edra the Listener is a totally army-focused cultist, and the only cultist on the list, of course, of course, of course. Still maybe worth it. You have a skill point available already. Yeah, I hate army defense boost, army damage boost. But then again, given that we're about to be attacked, I think, maybe it's not so bad. Ah, but you are still more money than... Of course you are. Because of course you are. Somehow. Yeah, I guess... We haven't formally met Purple. We can't really trade without... You can't trade resources with people you're at Cold War with. So trade is off the table as a way of gaining money. We need to just gain a bit of money so that we can hire a hero next turn. And I'm going to overshoot a little bit because the cost of heroes, it goes up periodically. I don't want the cost to bump right as we're climbing.
Yeah.
Right now, we're sitting in a dust cloud, these dust blizzards. And so we are invisible to that army. If they saw us, they could attack us. They would win that battle without question, right? So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Do we want to just stay? I think I just want to stay in the cloud. But it might disappear at the beginning of next turn, and if it does, they could just turn south. Like, we don't have any idea how many more turns are left in this dust eclipse. I'm going to risk it and be ready to just move real fast if the eclipse ends. It looks like it's sticking around because our movement has been set to 8 points. Oh, wow. That's okay. He saw us there. Apparently he has the detection range thing on, maybe? All right, let's get out of here. We'll go grab this ruin, which had a reasonable amount of dust in it for a change. We will go ahead and hire our combat cultist leader. Boy, I double clicked on him to place him in and it didn't place him in, and then I clicked accept and it didn't want to do that either. It's just being very slow. Okay, so our next goal is to get back into our own territory. I might try to do it like via this route. Just try to stay away from that army because we need time to res, and I need to get back into my own territory so that I can retrofit these units. In particular, so that I can put some what do you call it? So that I can put a weapon on this hero. So we finished our attack. Things didn't line up for some reason. I'm going to grab Public Granary next because we desperately need more food. And, you know, that Alchemy Workshop's going to get done pretty soon. Can we accelerate that? If I put everybody on industry, it wouldn't get it done in one turn, would it? No, okay. Then I do kind of want it to be just like the minimum extra bodies required because we do want to focus on food still. Okay, we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
I had to get back home so that we can ward off this asshole here.
What a jerk face.
He is a jerk face. He's trying to burn down our thing. So I searched the ruin in Dells. Oh no, it's that ruin in Siegar. That's just a really bad ruin for it to be, honestly. That's just crummy for us.
Yeah.
All
Bet that ruin was sour anyway.
Let's merge up. We are going to definitely want to go up to a great big sword on our hero, dramatically increasing our killing power. What does it cost to improve his armor? Not that much. And then it would be nice to have improved movement, but at the moment our other units don't have improved movement, so he is not the bottleneck on our army's speed. Yeah, these guys are going to try to annoy us with that village play there. That's not a big deal. And in fact, if we're able to descend and attack them like from this side, we'll be able to include the city garrison in the attack. They definitely will not actually stand and fight us. So we can chase them off in that way. Is the eclipse ending? Okay, we got to do some kind of weird movement here because of... Actually, never mind. Let me just do this, I guess, because apparently now it's gonna... Yeah, it's becoming a whole situation. All right, Blue has declared war. Well, this is not going to be very long for us, probably. Another 160 dust. That's a lovely gift. Go back to this ruin and search it for Lik Zoltan for some more dust. That's a thing that is not in the immediate concern. Bonus food on sea and lakes, also not an immediate concern. I'll tell you what is an immediate concern. Military units.
Yeah.
So, these demons want to play. I think we're going to lead with the reinforcements from Portobello. Yeah, this is really annoying because, again, the fact that they're flying means that there's no way to prevent them from doing any, like, getting to us. They're going to get to attack us if they want to attack us. We just have to make it costly. And none of our units will be faster than them because they are just over the threshold, like, just over the threshold. Okay, so you move to here. You move to here. You should back up. You should back up. They'll all be able to launch attacks still. Because these guys will come forward enough. Okay, interesting that they're focusing on... I do think that's a huge error on their part. Yeah, that's really, really bad play from them. If they're willing to do it, though, we should definitely not interrupt them while they're fucking up. So again, it's tough because they get to go first. So we don't really get to know what the situation is here. And they might choose to go after our ranged units now. Which is fine. Alright, we're managing to apply some slows, but unfortunately do 0 damage consistently. Okay, here come some more heroes. You are very unlikely to get to hit anybody this turn, I think. Yeah, this is nice that we have a little bit of control now because we have a couple of units who have a high enough speed to outrun them. Notice the lack of chain lightning. The description of chain lightning, if we can catch it here, it's a little wordy, but it specifically mentions that it does not work on any units that have fortification. So now that our militia are here, we have control over their bonus damage as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna just move our hero out. He doesn't need to take damage, and we have 3 ranged units to go before this guy, so we'll be able to kill him without taking a counterattack.
Is that why you had the reinforcements come in that order?
Partially that, and partially because I value the health of the militia less than I value the health of my other combat units. Because we're about to get attacked by blue, right? That's interesting. It teleported my army inside this. When I merged the units that were standing here and here, it teleported them into the city for some reason.
Okay.
That's not what I was intending to do. Okay, so blue is just like, let's fucking do it. Hard to argue with.
All right.
By which I mean we don't get the choice to argue. Here we go. Let's find out if we just lost. I think there's a real good possibility that the game is over. Because remember that thing I was saying about no retaliations, lose your city, lose the game, does apply to us as well. So I was gonna use the money that we got to equip Edra, but we were prevented from doing so by the AI moving very quickly. So combat stat wise, Edra's a little better than a militia. It is also worth noting that Edra has infantry slayer while the militia have cavalry slayer, so that is a little bit of bonus damage for the that is relevant against these dredges. Unfortunately, all of the AI's moves go before all of our moves. Well,
that is the trouble.
Our hero's going to get to do something, maybe. Try to kill their hero, I guess? You don't quite have the stats for that. Try to kill this dredge if you can. So, he attacks the unit that's on the reinforcement pad to prevent it from moving off, which means that we won't get reinforcements on this slot next turn.
Okay.
So this is a logistical attack. Caught me right in the logistics. Hero dies in 2 hits, but he did do an awful lot of damage with his big sword on his way out. That's something. So yeah, we only get 1 reinforcement. Pretty bad news. That was a good play on their part. I don't know if the AI is programmed to do that. See here, he's overdone it. He killed the unit on the reinforcement pad. So now it's available again. But obviously this is very grim indeed. So, you asked, what is the difficulty of this start? I do think that it's pretty dangerous to start near the cult. That's always true. The fact that we are also a single city faction and that I screwed up our early growth and sort of put us behind a little bit made this likely to occur. I don't think there was ever any version of our play that was gonna like. But by the time I had lost the hero to the minor faction village, there was no version of our play that was gonna make it so that if blue attacked us, we were gonna survive. If blue attacked us early, even if we had focused everything from that point on military growth, we would have had an army that was vastly inferior to blues at the moment of the attack, and we would have been unable to grow into the mid game if the attack didn't happen. So I focused on trying to like walk the line where we're like, we have an army, we have at least one full-size army, but also we have growth. If blue had chosen not to attack us because they were pressured by another neighbor and they had to fight them instead, I do think there was a chance we were going to get back into this game because we were growing pretty fast. But yeah, unfortunately, we start behind when we're playing on these high difficulties. We're playing from behind, and then I put us further behind with a bad decision early on, and I think that was really where the game ended. Frowny face. It's interesting that it hasn't kicked us out of the game yet. When I hit end turn, maybe it'll happen. It should go, hey, you have no cities, you lost. I was expecting that to occur immediately. Oh no, my pearls. There it is. It's true. You have been defeated. We get a cool failure screen. So
Sorry.
that was bad. It is worth noting that from most perspectives, blue will have been doing as badly. Like we'll probably have been doing the worst out of the computer factions.
Mm-hmm.
So we would not have been in a better spot with anybody else on our island. But yeah, I put us behind in a position where we really needed to. We needed to come out of the blocks screaming, and that is not what occurred. So I know we said we were going to do one more game.
Mm-hmm.
But would you mind if I took one more crack at this with the Mycera just to get to show you a little bit more of it?
Sure.
Okay.
No, I don't mind.
Okay. So that'll be a thing we can pick up next episode, where we're going to try one more time to see if I can get a start out of the gates as the Mycera, because I do want to show you some of what it's like once the position is developed. But that is going to be it for us for today. For right now, thank you all so much for watching. I'm not as good at this game as I used to be, Amabel.
You're better at other things, though. Like, I feel like you're better at smooching girls.
Is this relevant to the situation?
You have different skills. You got better at other things.
Okay, I appreciate that, I guess. Yeah, Endless Legend with the community patch on. It's challenging. When you come back next time, we will start one more start as the Mycera, and then we got so many other games to talk about. We got to keep moving. But I sure do like this one.
I know you do.
So come back for that, and we'll see you then.